Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
Welcome to the EST Hangout. Tom Gazzola alongside Jay Milne and Bryan Schmidt from Strathcona Spirits. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. Lots to talk about on today's show with the boys. Schmidt brought in gifts. He brought in some Birdie booze.
Yes, sir.
And you brought in some other stuff, too. What else did you bring in? Was it the...
Velvet cream.
Velvet cream.
Yes.
That stuff's popular. This stuff's been pretty popular, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's crushing. Thanks for the support, everyone, on that one. It's
Excellent. Thank you, Schmidt.
We should get the... hey, Gager. Hey, Joaquin. Can you bring that bottle of Velvet cream in here?
Velvet cream.
Oh, yeah.
Joaquin's a big-time Strathcona Spirits fan.
Huge.
Yeah, there he is. Hello, Joaquin.
Every day.
Oh, yeah.
One a day, he says. Get your
This stuff is dangerous.
sustenance.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is dangerous. And then it's gone. And then you got to go get another one.
Well, that's the beauty of
That's
it.
the beauty
It's
of
good
it.
that you guys are making lots of it. And this is like high time now, right?
Yeah,
It's getting
this
colder.
is go time. Yeah, people are off the beers, doing more Christmas partying eventually, and Thanksgiving and everything gathering like that. And they don't want to bring, just some run-of-the-mill stuff. They want to bring something that's a bit more local, a bit nicer, and they pick up our stuff quite a bit more right now. So from now until January, it's just go. And this is like, it flows.
This is
in coffee or just on its own?
On it, yeah, in coffee. It's our answer to Bailey's.
Yeah.
It's more vanilla forward.
Well, I was
It's,
just looking at the ingredients, and it says vanilla bean. Pretty high on the ingredient list.
Yeah.
And you can certainly taste it when you have it.
Delicious.
I'm just waiting for the text from my wife to ask if I'm bringing this bottle home.
Yeah.
Because this would be especially for a day like today.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a Monday morning.
Yeah. Kind of.
But it's 5
Yeah.
o'clock somewhere.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
this stuff is legit.
Yeah. No. Love it.
So I
for
wonder
bringing that
what it's been like, the rise to fame for you is, not just being Schmitty, as we know, he's
He's a very popular man.
He's one of the boys, right?
Yes.
But now being the Birdie booze guy.
Yeah, that was a big step in my career.
Yeah, I just wondered, do you
Becoming-
have your own Instagram account now that you have to, separate the two?
No, I don't have any burner accounts. I just have the one.
That's what they all say.
That you guys need to know about. But no, it's been awesome. People, known as the Birdie Booze guy at all your events and stuff. It's great. And people, you roll into your liquor store and people are already buying it in front of you, and you're like, oh, that's cool. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's flowing nicely.
Would you guys ever, are you able to? Because we were talking earlier before the show started about how the 40s, especially in the bar setting, are really popping off. And I mean, Tommy, you said at Hudson's, that would have been West Edmonton Mall and White Ave. They both have the 40s, and you're saying O'Byrne's, I think, does a lot with it.
Burns, Odd Company. There's a few other, but those are the two that are moving it like crazy. They just do like the $5 shots and for all the games, and it just flows. And it's a nice change up. I mean, the reason we started it was because I was tired of people pulling out Birdie booze out of their bag, or Birdie juice, whatever, out of their bag, and it being like this warm Jameson's or this warm, and I'm just like, come on, guys, like I want to celebrate and not like have to. Also, like we're down to 20%, and I can have it, actually make a couple birdies maybe and be okay, still be able to golf. These guys are pulling out like Jägermeister from like 1999. I'm like, guys, like this isn't fun right now. So I'm like, let's make something. Blue raspberry lemonade was kind of is deep flavor right now for a lot of different things. That's going well, and we decided to do our own spin on it, and here we go.
Now, is the reason I was saying is like, is the 40 something that you could see getting to the liquor store level?
Yeah.
Because, has anybody perfected? I know at the launch party, there was the Birdie Booze beer concoction that that you guys had, the drop shots, which I thought was very good.
Corey B was trying to do one too,
Yeah, T-Buds was there.
Yeah,
He's man, we got a
local legend Tyler Padinsky.
we should have had him on today. Actually,
I saw him recently.
That would have been excellent because he just went across the country.
He did. He
with
had
his
a lot
new
of
wife,
stories to
right?
tell. Yeah, a lot of don't air stories.
But like, has anybody perfected like a maybe like a Blue Lagoon or something, where it's like a soda and Birdie booze with a.
We've got questions
Honestly,
coming in for Schmidt too.
yeah.
So yeah,
Shoot me a question.
Well, I will, but I want to hear this too.
So with soda water, it tastes exactly like a Blue Freezy, like exactly.
Wow.
Okay.
So you don't need much, just soda water. There's one bar I can't remember right now, but we did drop shots into Orange Crush because the blue and orange.
Yes.
Easy mix. And I think I did that with you guys once. But anyways, it turns a nasty color. So
Oh, you guys went on
Turns
global.
like swamp
we
water,
went on
right?
global.
Yeah,
Dude.
you and Maddie went on global.
that's right. Yeah, that's where I did it.
I know at the Silent Ice Center,
Oh yes,
they've been doing at Summit. They were trying some different variations to work with Birdie booze, and Belsey said there were a couple that they came up with that were excellent.
Yeah. Head of marketing Belsey there was working with Yenny at Summit,
Yes.
which is a very sweet spot. If you haven't visited it
Great
out there,
food, great drinks.
oh yeah,
They have
The
6
place is-
o'clock on tap too.
Yeah, the place was money. Yeah, it was good.
Quinn's taking a little bit of a low blow shot here in the, in the
us?
nasty chat.
I invited her to come on with Schmidt today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Quinn Phillips. Funny that.
Don't be throwing casting
She said,
stones like that.
Bryan and Jay, devastated I missed your text to join Tom.
I text her in like good time.
You know what this is
She
about?
ghosted me for like 8 hours yesterday.
Remember on the hangout from South Fort Chev when we called her?
Yeah.
Because she didn't invite me to her birthday party.
That was hurtful.
I think this is a little bit of a clap back for that.
Wow, Quinn.
Wow. I must say, wow.
Yeah, wow. Text us 780-218-9999, the Paris Jewelers inbox. It is the EST Hangout. Todd Gazzola, Jay Milne, Bryan Schmidt from Strathcona Spirits. We will get to some questions for Schmitty. We also have our EST Flyaway to LA keyword giveaway. We'll do that at the top of the hour, so around 10 o'clock. And then, we're going to have a lot of fun. Lots to talk about because there's so much happening in the world of sports.
Yeah.
And you and Gager were getting into a good F1 conversation, and everything's happening. World Series is set. The WNBA going to the New York Liberty yesterday.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football tonight. We had crazy amount of football, obviously, yesterday. CFL wrapping up the regular season coming up, and so much to talk about. And then obviously those Oilers going 1-1 on the
Couple
road
pennants
trip.
going on. Like, geez.
I know. So lots to get to today here on the Hangout, but I want to get to this one in regard to Strathcona Spirits. Big Maple asking Schmitty, is there any chance Strathcona Spirits has any interest in doing something like a ranch water inspired drink? It's trending up and it's delicious.
Yeah. So ranch water, I think, is an agave spirit or tequila based. Those are just very good. Not as good as a long drink. But yeah, doing these RTDs, they're called ready to drinks, carbonated beverages. It takes a few different processes,
Like
I
canning
guess.
as well.
Canning is a big one.
Yeah.
Something we've looked at. Yeah, it's definitely on our project list. Right now, we're actually just getting
cool.
into the world of ready to drink cocktails. So those are like pre-made old fashions and like Negronis and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Where it's just like you grab a bottle like the size of the Birdie Booze Mickey size, and
Yeah.
it's just on ice, good to go.
I like that.
So we have an old Strathcona fashion coming out in the next couple of weeks.
What a name.
That's great.
Yeah,
What a name. Oh my gosh.
Thanks.
That's
Yeah.
so great.
yeah. We are
'Cause there
situated in
is
the heart of
yeah,
old Strathcona.
There is I know Wiser's does that.
Yeah, Weisers has one.
And,
There's a few local distilleries.
good.
Mrs. Glue likes it.
I like it too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. And before we continue, and I want to get right back to this.
Yes.
I need to apologize
For what?
to Quinn.
For what?
I misread her comment.
did
She
she
was
say?
not throwing shade at all.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize you had texted her.
I did text her. Yeah.
See, what I had read that with, and this is maybe just my
that,
befuddled mind with Quinn, missing me on her birthday, which
right.
I would have gladly been there to support. She said that she was sad that she missed your text to join us. So Quinn, my apologies. This is done. I screwed up.
Apologize.
It's my fault. Schmidt was the one who told me to say it, but I'll take the blame.
Just sewer
They come
Smitty.
crashing through these doors. In the next
she's
40
coming running in.
Oh,
My
that's too
apologies.
good.
My apologies.
Oh, okay. We've got a great show for you. We're already casting stones and throwing shade at the commish.
Yeah.
Which way to go,
So
Jay.
you have the Strathcona,
Old Strathcona
old
fashion.
Strathcona fashioned.
Yeah,
Great-
that's
great
going to be
name.
the first foray into the ready-to-drink cocktail biz, which is getting more and more popular. Usually at checkouts now, you see them grab it as you go. Makes it easier for your partying. If you don't want to come up with 6 ingredients and make your nice little cocktail, like we'll do it for you. Have it ready to go. It looks like you're a magician in the bar. You just made this old fashioned. That's so delicious. But secretly, it's just your little hidden Mickey at your bar, and pour it in and go.
You're gonna have to get those into 2 6s or.
I mean, if it hits, we'll go any size.
Yeah. I think it will.
Yeah.
I think that will.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because it is, to have, I mean, what goes into an old fashioned? You have your bourbon, you have your bitters, you got to have like orange peel or rind.
Yeah. A little bit of simple.
And a simple syrup.
Yeah. So,
And to have that and how much of each,
yeah.
it can be a little daunting, but you have the single serve.
Yeah.
You just want to have especially as, you're moving into the fall season, something that'll warm your gullet on the way down.
Yeah, we have a nice corn whiskey coming out soon.
Oh.
So that is what we're using in this. So corn whiskey basically is bourbon, but we can't call it bourbon here because we're in Canada.
Why can't you call it bourbon?
Yeah.
It's like a champagne thing.
Oh.
It's like
Get out of here.
Yeah,
So it's only called bourbon in Kentucky?
in the States. Yeah, so they can't be we
Corn
can't-
whiskey.
Yeah, it's a corn whiskey. Yeah, so different companies will like misspell bourbon and like do different funny things
Like
to
Bourbon
get,
Street.
to get
Bourbon Street.
to get around it. But
Yeah.
it's it's a funny thing. But everyone's protective. Same tequila has all those rules too. So
About agave?
yeah, we can't call anything we make here tequila.
What do we
It
call
has
it?
to be agave spirit or something different.
Okay.
Yeah, or there's different ways to work around it. But yeah, they have the same kind of rules.
What if you did? Who's coming
That's a
after
good question. I wouldn't mess with
Liquor
tequila.
company.
Mexican drug
Yeah, I
cartel?
was gonna say, I
Yeah.
wouldn't mess with that one.
Right.
I think maybe different groups, different lobbying groups or whatever might be like, hey, don't shake their finger at you. And if it was big enough, they would probably, if you were big enough, they would send cease and desist eventually. I bet. Like we got one from our little birdie.
Yes, we did. You guys were nimble and quick on
my God.
on your feet with that, but we worked our way around it. Birdie Booze, so overall went over well, and it's going to be sticking around. Like it's not a seasonal thing, right?
Yeah, it's the dream team. You can't
love it.
beat it, right?
We have a mascot that came out of it, Smash Smash. I know he made a visit over to Strathcona Spirits, which was I love that video.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever smashed through the gate,
Yeah.
well done, done. That was fantastic. Well,
Trust-
Smash did.
Yep. No, people love that.
I didn't know he had his license. Speaking of the holiday season, I saw a full on Christmas ad. I think it was Old Navy. I was watching football.
I
and
saw
I'm
it too.
I'm like, why am I hearing sleigh bells? Yeah. Like, what's going on?
It's about a
It's
sale
October.
they're having put on.
Yes.
It's like, I don't want to say too much about it, but it was a really good online sale for Old Navy. And my daughters, we were watching. This was last night, Tom.
Yeah.
This was during Sunday Night Football because I actively saw my daughters stop. We were at my parents for dinner and we came home and my wife was away all day, so they hadn't seen her. So they were, and they stopped what they were doing with my wife and stared at the TV because it was such a catchy hit. I hate that stuff.
Me too.
Because it's like, what are you doing? It's like, what are you putting in this food to make them crave it so much, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But it was the same thing on that commercial for Old Navy, but it was to a Christmas theme.
Yeah.
Sleigh bells and stuff.
What am I doing? What's going on here?
It's October 21st.
Yeah. Let
Yes.
us get past Halloween. Actually, November 12th is you got to wait till.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like
You gotta-
Remembrance Day.
Yeah, exactly. You can't be
that,
doing
maybe.
anything.
We had a topic on the Reed Wilkins show. He does a off-topic topic
Love
every
that.
day.
Yeah.
And the topic was, when is, are your Halloween decorations up? And if so, when did you do it? Because we've all seen the person that just goes full bore like October 1st.
Oh, yeah.
And they have every blow
Everything.
up and light and going. But then there's some that just, put up something the day of to let the children know that there's candy available at this place. But I don't, I certainly don't. I know for a fact that you have zero Halloween decorations.
Great guess and correct.
Yeah. I mean, you're in a high-rise tower.
Yeah,
What-
exactly. My mom yesterday is like, "Are you going to be giving out candy?"
In the
I'm like,
high-
"To who?"
Yeah.
The only people that have access to my floor are the 7 or 8 units
Yeah.
and the concierge. And she's like, "Yeah, good point." I'm like,
though, if
There's not
you
many
did
kids in
throw
the
out,
building.
if you were on a floor and you were right outside the elevator, say, if you were to have a little something, even just a spooky something from the dollar store, just to set the mood for your floor, I think that would be well received.
I think a lot of families want to go downtown on Halloween and do trick or treat.
Can you imagine though if it was like that?
They'd make. Yeah,
that'd be like a cheat code for kids. They just fire up all these floors on elevators.
Well, the mall was the cheat code, right?
The mall
was.
Go trick or treating so fast. And
the mall I could see being good if you have little kids, right? Yes. And you just want to keep them contained in a warm place. Yeah. We just load up everybody behind the quad because we're out on an acreage, so like you maybe hit 10 houses, but they give out
full size.
Because there's. Our subdivision is getting younger, but it's pretty old to begin with. So when kids do come around, the ladies that are there and the families that are there are just like, and they just fill their boots, right?
Have some,
But we just leave a bowl out front.
There's some areas though, man, like those young neighborhoods, Ellerslie area, they're just getting smoked. They gotta take out like line of credit to get some candy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's crazy. They're because all the kids will come from different neighborhoods and go to this one neighborhood. Like Sherwood Park people will come out to like the town of Ardrossan.
Really?
Yes. And it's like they do it up. It's kind of like a little bit of a candy cane lane, but for Halloween. Cool. And I think there was like 30,000 people there last year.
What?
And I mean, like people that are spending like $300-400 on candy, man.
It's a lot of candy.
Jesus.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. And why did Ardrossan get behind it?
I don't know. It's like a newer build.
Yeah.
And they just kind of made this their thing, but it's been happening for a while, like for probably 3, 4, 5 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It seems crazy to me.
We just stick to the quad that way.
That
Mom and Dad
fun.
can,
I'll come.
have a Strathcona Spirit velvet cream.
Delicious. Delicious. One more question comes in from Larzy. Says, hey, Jay, ask Schmidt if Birdie Booze is available in the 2.6 in any liquor store or only at Strathcona Spirits. Please and thank you, sir.
So we actually we skipped the 2.6 row. We went straight to the 40. It is available at a few liquor stores. I know Crossroads, Sherwood Park has it. He's a good guy out there. Does a lot of local stuff.
Crossroads, Sherwood Park. That's a very unique and like one-off.
Specific, yeah.
That's the one off by the McDonald's there?
Yeah.
Off Baseline?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a gem.
Really? Okay, cool.
There's, from the distillery online. If you want an online shop, we'll send it to you.
Nice.
Can people come into Strathcona Spirits and buy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, taste, buy,
it's
hang out, see the place.
Neat. Yeah, you can see like everything being done. It's actually pretty cool. Really
10
nice.
to 6 every day till Tuesday to Saturday, yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, well, then that's, if somebody comes in, that's like probably the thing that people wouldn't get is if you can go to these small batch breweries or, even that Food Sausage, which is on our show. You go in there, they have lunches every Friday. They'll show you around. It's kind of nice for you guys. And obviously you'd rather sell direct to consumer.
Big time, yeah.
Right? As opposed to going through a liquor store. So
yeah.
What's the address again of Strathcona Spirits?
10122 81 Ave. Just beside A&W off of White Ave there. So you can start with us or end with us and then hit up Happy Beer Street. There's like 9 or 10 breweries there now, which are all sick. And then you can jump over to see our boy Trev the Butcher. Corey the Butcher?
Corey the Butcher.
And
You got YouTube Trev on the brain.
Yeah, I do. It's hard to get him off the brain. What a stud.
He's special.
Yeah. And you have a lot to do in that little like cordoned off area, and it's money. There's all new stuff happening all the time there. You got live music going on a lot of times, and it's fun. It's a good area.
Strathcona Spirits, you've got the old Strathcona fashion coming out. That's in the mix. People are going to need it when they watch the Oilers as we get to Hangout headlines. Brought to you by the Ranch Golf and Country Club, offering premier conditions, top-notch service, and unmatched value. You saw the video from the ranch on their social media closing the gates. The TaylorMade Performance Center will stay open, and they do a bunch of events and weddings. We were talking about Murray and his crew. Fantastic season over at the ranch. The course was in great shape. Okay, we do have to talk about the Oilers. We do have to talk about World Series and a host of other things, obviously football. But Al texts in already, says, hey boys, happy Monday. Last year, Campbell was sent down when he became unplayable with an 873 save percentage. Skinner has an 850 save percentage right now, while the team is 11th in the league in preventing high danger chances. Skinner is 31 out of 32 goalies. Koskinen was chased out of town with a career save percentage of 906. That's higher than Skinner, and Koskinen played on a much worse team. Why the double standard? Why does the media defend Skinner? His playoff numbers are also poor. You can make the argument the Oilers outscored their bad goaltending. Stu stole one game against Dallas. Al, go ahead, guys. I think
Why the
Stu's
double? He's obviously upset.
yeah, he's not happy. He's not happy at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to look at it as a body of work, and the team that is in front of him is not playing all that well defensively.
No, they're playing terrible.
I mean, you look at that. Was it the second goal against Dallas where I don't know what Janmark and Henrik were doing, but
there was like a what do we call compounding errors? as Matt Casson likes to say.
and then Stetcher was chasing the puck, which led to Henrik having to, it was just a comedy of errors that led to a simple player coming right down the pipe scoring, and then I mean, even the I think it was the first goal. Where Bush
Face-off loss.
Which was the
What
goal
game
where
are we
Bush
talking about here?
Dallas.
Dallas. Oh, okay.
Where Bush mishandled the
That's the
puck.
second goal.
The second goal. Okay.
And then
Henrik was the
McDavid had
third goal.
and McDavid had a tough shift.
Yeah.
We saw Ekholm on the back check turn the wrong way.
Yeah. He
And
went to
then-
go help Bush.
Yeah, exactly. And then the
Yeah.
pass through the legs, I think that was Hintz to Duchesne and
Yeah.
tucked it in.
That one where, like that's your top pairing line of Bouchard and Ekholm. First, Bouchard seems kind of lackadaisical getting back.
He's a slow starter.
Right.
I think
And
that's
then
abundantly
Ekholm,
clear.
seeing that, decides to go over and push to take Bouchard's player that he's not able to catch up to. And it leaves the Dallas player wide open in the front.
Yeah.
I mean, Skinner can play better, absolutely. Like he can get you maybe one or two of those stops, but if you're having a team like the Dallas Stars get point blank range shots, and don't forget that Ottinger played lights out.
The Oilers only
first-
gave up 4 shots in like the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, like lights out.
Yeah.
He made 2 close-up saves against Connor on a. Remember that
That blocker was
save?
sick. Yeah, that was wide open.
Was it just me, or did that blocker save sound like the crispest blocker save
Yeah,
you've
it
ever
was like
heard
hit
on a
the center.
broadcast?
Yeah.
Dunk. Like,
Yeah.
it sounded so good, but he was just positionally right. So
Yeah.
maybe there is something to say about if Skinner's positioning can be better. A lot of them are though getting him having to come across, where a lot of the Oilers' chances that didn't go in were somewhat straight on. Right?
Yeah.
What do you think, Tom?
I'll just start by simply saying I think Stuart Skinner is a better goaltender than Jack Campbell and Mikko Koskinen.
Well, yeah.
The numbers are not good. Al's right. Why was Koskinen run out of town? Because he let in bad goals at terrible times and ones that would squib through. He was 6'7", and you'd be like, how did that get in?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Well, Koskinen was letting in goals that should have been routinely stopped.
Yes, that's right.
And his ebbs and flows were, I mean, there were times he'd look like like the best goaltender in the league.
Yeah.
But then the other way, he'd let in 8 goals and first 4 shots on net would go in.
Yeah. We didn't just ride Koskinen into Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Like,
There's something
this
there,
guy's
right?
just finished like an absolutely mentally taxing
Yeah.
run, right? Goalies is all mental. It's tough.
A very good point. I mean, we have one in here, Joaquin, that can attest to it, and he speaks of it. And even asking, Brad Malone was in for Matt Cassian the other day, and talking to Cass, talking to Belzy, talking to Joaquin. You're going, hey, why wasn't there a save there that looked like it was a save? Well, did you see this? Did you see why they were chasing? Did you see the mistake here by the forward? Did you see the missed outlet pass? Team's playing bad in front of both Calvin Pickard and Stuart Skinner. Like, they are sloppy right now. Their special teams are atrocious.
Yeah.
There's many reasons why the goaltending numbers are not particularly great. And, like, I think a lot of people were saying that first goal that Skinner allowed against Dallas. Like, I'd like a save there too. I really would. But you let Matt Duchesne walk in. He had like 20 feet of runway, and he gets into the slot because I think Bugsy was saying on the post, he thought that Henry got tied up with the ref off the face-off and was slow getting over. But regardless, like, he lost the face-off clean, and then Duchesne can just walk in. Matt Duchesne is still a good player.
But it didn't seem like there was any urgency by either of those players to go across and challenge that shot.
Yeah.
Like, get down, try to block it, and take
Yeah.
away the bottom half of the net and leave Skinner to the top. That was a really, and there was one angle from the opposite end of the rink that just showed like he had half the ice.
Yeah.
What was, it was just very, very strange. A couple real weird goals where the Oilers just looked like an atom team out there.
We always do at 2 p.m. starts. Anything before 5.
good
They've been
point.
better
We're
with
always-
afternoon games, though. Like, the record's gotten better, and they play a lot more of them, but historically, franchise-wide, they're not.
Playing Dallas Stars 2
particularly good.
p.m. I was like, all my money on Dallas.
Luck.
Sorry.
Yeah, but that was a Dallas Stars game. Like
Yeah.
Dallas, I think they're going into the game. They scored 2.6 goals, so just over 2.5 goals per game. That's one of the lowest in the league. But they only gave up 1.6 per game, and essentially without that empty netter, it's a 3-1 game. And you go, well, that's prototypical Dallas Stars game this year. But there's a lot of good things in the first 2 periods from the Oilers. And then the turning point really was that late goal by Duchesne on the power play. The penalty kills sucks. Like, I'm
Terrible.
sorry. It's
The dead last or something?
pathetic. It's like 55%. Yeah, 32nd in the league. Well, the Oilers combined on the special teams now, I think, is like 61%. You always want that 100%, the sweet spot. So there's a lot of problems with this team. I understand where Al's coming from. I'll just say, I'll be very blunt. Stuart Skinner's a better goaltender than
Yes.
Nico Koskinen, than Mike
End
Smith.
of story, yes.
Yeah, it's so I don't know. People want to point a finger at him. That's fine. He's part of the problem, but I think he'll be a big part of the solution too.
You think Stu misses Vinny?
Maybe, but like, do
You
you
know-
think that like is affecting his emotions?
Is it? Who's
don't
the
know.
glue guy in the Oiler dressing room right now? Keeping them all hyped up, keeping them all going up
Apparently,
for...
Corey Perry's really good at
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Derek Ryan's supposed to be really good like that, but
Yeah.
you're supposed to get over stuff
Yeah.
like those types of. And Cody Ceci, I was watching the Sharks game yesterday. I'm like, oh, there's Cody.
Yeah.
Looks weird wearing a Sharks jersey, but that's the business.
Look at
of it.
their, either their power play or their penalty kill, but their penalty kill specific. A lot of those guys that they leaned on during the playoffs to have that amazing penalty kill record, or not record, but stat,
They had a great penalty kill in the playoffs.
are gone,
True.
right? So
True.
there's a lot of, I guess there's a lot of new bodies here that, and I still can't help but point back to that. I have it from a very good source that is very close to this team, that this was not a normal training camp, given the time that they had off in between being cut so short. This was more of a, get your heart rate back up kind of thing.
And it still hasn't gotten back up.
And
like,
you could
clearly.
obviously see that. So maybe it just takes a little bit longer for this penalty kill to get on the same page, because you really that team that was in the playoffs with those guys, they knew what the person across the rink or across the ice was doing from them without even looking, right?
True.
So I think like they're fighting it a bit, but the power play.
You don't like a 6% power play?
Wow. My partner in crime, Reed, seems to not be worried. I wonder if he's starting to get a little worried now. But does the power play look much different than it did last year? Or are they just not getting the bounces right now and not, like Bouchard has, I think, 2 shots that have made it through.
2 or 3, yeah.
2 or 3.
McDavid,
Several
I think
blocks, right?
Yeah.
I think Draisaitl leads the way with 6 shots.
Yeah.
And he's got 1 goal.
Yeah. And he's not hitting. It's a tough gamble right now. Like, what do? Do you switch it up? Do you just say, blow up Draisaitl, McDavid, put them on different power plays? Do you shorten the PP1 down? Say, hey guys,
I think that's the way
you
to
guys
go first.
you guys got to score a goal right now or get off the ice. Like, it's kind of, there's a lot. I think I would not want to be coaching the Oilers special teams right now. You got a lot of pressure.
Glenn Gulletson on the power play
yeah.
side, Mark Stewart on the penalty kill side. Obviously, they got a lot of work to do. But the thing is, Schmidt, that's like we're all wondering this out loud, and I totally valid. And I said to Brad Malone, I'm like, hey, like, well, how much of it is execution? They have this malaise when they're on the power play. He goes, yeah, I get that. But he's like, have you also noticed that the way teams are killing against the Oilers has changed? They switched up the system. And he actually pointed out to last season when Grand Rapids, when they were playing Bakersfield, switched up to the penalty kill style that we're seeing that the Oilers are facing now, where it's more, it's not high pressure all the time, but they take away all your lanes and you sit there, you've got nothing.
Yeah.
You can hang on to the puck. And I think there was a moment in the game the other day where McDavid was just kind of like sitting there looking.
Yeah.
And he was kind of confused too. And so I feel like it's a cat and mouse game between the PKs in the league, kind of figuring out the Oilers' power play, and then the Oilers having to respond to that at some point and get a wrinkle going. That's
It's not hard to figure out the power play. Like our power play was pretty much like written in stone on what we were going to be doing.
Yeah.
So it didn't take much for them to figure that out. And they went back, to simple box out, take out lanes, and stop chasing McDavid because you're not going to catch him.
Yeah.
So just stop where he's going to pass.
So put power play 2 out there.
Yeah, put him on.
Start to put power play 1's feet to the fire a little bit.
I agree. I like from the start of training camp, Knobloch had said, wow, and it was kind of jokingly like, well, this is PP1. Like they're going to be out there as long as they essentially want. Mm-hmm. But that's good and bad because if PP1 knows they have a minute 40 to get a decent possession and put a high chance shot on net, well, they're going to take that time, right?
Yeah.
If they know, hey guys, now this is a minute 10, and then we're switching. If they know that, the sense of urgency is there, right? And I'm not, when they pass it around, and I get they're doing it because they're trying to, but this is one of the only power plays I've ever seen that will pass up a grade A scoring chance in the slot by the best player in the world in Connor McDavid to try and make a backdoor pass to Leon with a very low percentage shot, albeit he's very good at it. But I mean, look at the shots for Connor McDavid. Shoot the puck.
Yeah.
Is that earth shattering?
Yeah, you're right.
And last year was the year he came out and said, no, I'm going to shoot more.
Yeah.
And look what
The
happened.
year he scored 64. He had
that the
100
year
more
before?
shots. Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
2 years
Last year he
before.
dialed it back. I think he just finished.
So maybe he needs to get back to that kind of way of thinking. And
He's got
and
a
just,
good shot.
He does. Yeah. But
Absolutely.
it seems like they're just, and I get the premise is that they're trying to set up a AAA scoring chance, but
Highlight reel.
a lot of those,
Goalies are expecting it. It's not, it's nothing new. And Dry's not hitting it. And, like you said, 1 goal. Like, that's not good. That's not good at all.
1 for 15 is the power play right now. Just over 6%. Oh, man, it's atrocious. Overall level of concern, they're 2-4. They've got Carolina tomorrow, Pittsburgh Friday. Like, you look at the schedule the rest of the month. You get Detroit coming in. I think there's a Columbus date. They got one. Who else? Nashville in there, I think, too. So, I don't know. I'm not too.
Yeah, we should be able to juice it up a bit for sure.
Schmitty.
Carolina Tuesday in town. Yeah, in town. So
2-game homestand.
and then exciting Crosby's here on Friday.
There's also an Elks game on Friday. Thank you very much. I'm just kidding. Dusty and I will be working that game also on Friday, but I think a lot of the focus will be on the Oilers and the Penguins on Friday night. Jay, how concerned are you when it comes to the Oilers?
not concerned.
Not concerned.
It just seems like they're slowly gelling. I mean, you cannot say that they have not improved over the, since the first game or the first homestand that they had here.
Yeah.
For them to come away 1-1 on that road trip.
Yeah.
That's a victory for sure. And they looked more energized. I mean, you look at the first half of that game, that was all Oilers.
Yeah.
Yep.
They ran into Ottinger, who was feeling it that day, and they couldn't put pucks in. They get 1 goal against them, and then that's where I do have concern with is the ability for this team just to deflate.
Oh, yeah.
And it used to be they'd be down 2 goals, and you say, oh, no, I think they've got it in them to pick it up, kind of a la that Philly game.
That Philly game, perfect example.
That was kind of what Oilers fans have come to expect is that, no, it doesn't matter how down this team is, they're never out. But for whatever reason, against better teams like Dallas, it happened earlier. Winnipeg.
I guess, that one.
Winnipeg just steamrolled. There was no air in that. There's no energy on the bench.
Yeah.
And it seemed like that happened in Dallas as well, right?
That's fair. I think that's fair. 2 games this week, 3 next week to wrap up the month. Carolina tomorrow, Pitt Friday, like we were saying. Then you go back-to-back in Detroit and Columbus, Sunday, Monday. And then wrap up the month in Nashville on Halloween. So
Nice.
Reed
I'll
in the
take that
nasty
schedule.
chat.
hello,
And Reed
Reed.
has a wrench now.
nice.
That's great.
Excellent.
Power play will start scoring. They had lulls last season and others during this historic run. He mentioned the other day that they went 36 games last year without scoring a power play goal. Not in a row, but collectively. There's 30 as excellent as that power play was last season, as much as we talk about it. 36 games, they did not score a goal on the power play. So just keep that in mind.
Right. Look at that. Read.
What? Yeah, stat.
Reed is he's an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Yes,
Try sitting across the desk from him, make you feel real stupid real quick.
Bones texting in.
I'm just there to add in,
Your
man. I
Google
just
can't
sit there. Might have a stogie some days, just puffing along. Just go ahead, Reed. You talk.
Yeah. Obscure.
I love it.
Valid
It's a good
stats.
relationship. Yeah.
Bones texting Paris Jewelers inbox. Bones says, well past moral victories. I agree with that. And then another text just says, Skinner has a mustache. That's the difference. It's a formidable mustache, that's for sure.
It's a fancy mustache.
Yeah, he's getting hippie.
He's getting hippie. There's no more lessons to be learned for this team. They've learned every lesson in every round of the postseason. They've had terrible starts. They've gotten coaches fired. It's a matter of just wake the F up.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny to think or say out loud that Jeff Skinner's been probably one of the most efficient Oilers thus far this season?
Yeah.
Good for him.
It's nice to watch him.
Isn't it?
It's like a refreshing little burst of energy on the ice. You're not used
What
to.
a pleasant surprise.
Yes,
That was the biggest
absolutely.
concern through the preseason.
Right.
Was what's
Yeah.
Jeff Skinner? Where
He was
well,
a wild card for sure.
apparently he's a bit of a gamer.
He's doing
Like
very
what
well.
about you know like they elevated Pod Colson last week because he had one good game and then he went back down.
He
the
had
fourth
that
line.
chance set up by Perry and Ryan right before the second goal.
That would have been the turning point for sure.
Yeah.
I almost said TSN.
What about elevating a guy
Yes,
like
the turning
Skinner?
point. You say.
What about promoting a fellow like Skinner? And maybe, I know it's, that line is playing pretty well. But, it seems like Knobloch has that in him to reward players or elevate them based on their level of play.
Yeah.
Because Hyman has been, have you heard?
Invisible. Well, he had some good chances on Saturday.
Sure.
Yeah.
But, it's maybe a shakeup with given the depth of talent.
Yeah.
And lower end talent that is overachieving.
We could see that. And like you said, Chris Knobloch isn't afraid to switch it up. So
Yeah.
mid-game
No.
too.
You guys think Knobloch's doing enough on bench? I don't see him yelling. I don't see him. He's very calm, cool, collected.
Yeah.
It's just every interview. I don't think I've seen his voice either go up or down. It's just like, I'm Chris Knobloch. Here's how it is, which is, I like, but
I think he does.
sometimes like seeing
I
the
do. I
spunk.
know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's the motivation
Yeah.
factor. Like, come on, guys. Like when they needed a kick in the ass,
Yeah.
is he able to give it to them?
He's not Craig Berube screaming.
Or yeah, Tortorella running across the ice.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's not his style. I think they handle it just.
Yeah.
And then he does his subtle little tweaks here and there, and
Yeah.
I think they get the message.
yeah.
It's not a coaching style I would prefer.
Yeah.
I've said that before, but to be determined,
Yeah.
right?
Here's a good one from Aiden, texting in Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. Aiden says, does this start by the Oilers so far this year just kind of prove that last year's slow start wasn't really Woodcroft's fault? That's a good question.
I mean, we had to do something though. Like
They
Woody
needed-
was the
they needed a
sacrificial
jolt.
lamb to go, you know what, we need to shake this up, and look what happened. But I don't know. It's a tough one. I don't think Woody was doing anything crazy. I don't think it should have landed all on him, but sometimes that's the way hockey works, and you can't necessarily get rid of.
Well, I said it last year too. It was they let him down. The players let him down, and it's like I make the joke about this Oilers team. It's like, why can't they have nice things? Why can't they give their fans an easy season to just be like, yeah, they're going to be good. They're right in the mix at the top of the standings, two of the best players in the world. Just a nice season. They can't do it. It's
know.
just they're mentally incapable. And it's just unbelievable because we're witnessing it again. 2-4 out of the gates. Winnable games lost. Chicago, I think of. Dallas was a good team. The loss to Winnipeg, which is also a good team. I understand. But like
undefeated.
the loss to Calgary, like they didn't look good in that game.
No.
And it's never easy for this fan base because they have to witness this team put itself through turmoil before it gets its ass in gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is tough to watch.
Yeah.
And it's like welcome to 2015 and beyond, or 2010 and beyond Oilers or Edmonton sports.
Yeah.
Nothing's easy.
No.
It's always well, this is going to turn around, isn't it? Well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hope so.
I don't know.
Yeah. Collingwood Rob texting us says, when the Oilers have a bit of chances and they don't score, or a lot of chances and don't score in the first 10 minutes, the end result is what you get from the Dallas game. It's almost like they get down on themselves. That's from Collingwood Rob. And Brad Malone was talking about that goal late with 26 seconds left, and he goes, that was a turning point.
Sure.
And those late goals piss you off, and especially when you run into a hot goal. I'm not going to say they got goalied, but Ottinger was really good that night.
Oh yeah.
You don't think they got goalied?
I just hate
the first
I hate
35
that
minutes
term.
they got goalied. Yeah.
Why do you hate that term? Please,
It's
I've never heard that you
To
hate
me,
that.
it's silly. It sounds
Why?
Because we were using it all year last year.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yeah.
But it's true. It's like
Yeah, Ottinger played really
when the
good.
goalie outplays your goalie, you're getting goalied.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. And it hurts.
It'd be nice for the Oilers to
the goalies.
to goalie someone else. For
And that
once.
goes back to Al and the numbers he
agree,
brought
man.
up. Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
good. I thought Pickard was okay against Nashville. Nice bounce back game. People were asking if it was time to ride Pickard
I was
already
gonna
this
say, are we
season.
gonna
I'm like,
jump?
come on, settle down. We're 6 games in.
Yeah.
But
Well, I know, but in those 6 games, you're 2-4.
They might pop them in against Carolina.
I mean, this is now you're already. Are you pilfering away your shot at home ice advantage?
No, I would say no.
But
Not-
it's
not
certainly
this
not
way.
helping your case. I mean,
No, I know.
these games are as important as game 78 and 79. They are.
Point.
True.
They all count.
But
Same number of
it
points.
just feels like everybody can be calm about it. And I guess that's really the only option.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Everything's good, guys.
Yeah, we're not worried. As we worry.
No.
But the schedule, when you looked at it in October, it was supposed to be a winning.
They could win 4 of the next
Record.
5. Like, that's seriously.
And they could. Yeah.
Yeah, and if they play like they did for the first 38, 39 minutes of that game against Dallas, they should be able to win 4.
Two home
Yeah,
games.
sure they
Yeah.
can, but it depends what team shows up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If the one that shows up for the first 39 minutes of the Dallas game plays
Yeah.
those games against Carolina, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Columbus, and Nashville,
Yeah.
I think we're talking about a
I also
decent
think-
start this month.
And I like to see it like Nurse take it for what he is. He's getting physical again a little bit.
He's playing angry.
And that's what we need. You saw after that fight, we scored.
Yeah.
Nashville. Like that physicality is what is going to wake us up a little bit, I think. And we need McDavid to get mad. We need him to get pushed around a bit. He's got a back check. And we need Bouchard not to hit snooze 3 times during the game. And we'll be okay. That's a summary.
Bush's season
If
doesn't
there was a
start till
mic, I would drop it
mid-November,
for you. That's very well summarized, Schmitty.
Yeah.
Well done. Keep those texts coming in. 780-218-9999. The Oilers 2-4, dropping the game in Dallas on Saturday. Tom Gazzola, Jay Milne, and Bryan Schmidt from Strathcona Spirits with you here on the EST Hangout. I should mention that the Finnish Long Drink, the Legend of 1952, is the official drink of the Hangout, and it's a drink unlike any other sparkling refreshment. Real liquor, longdrink.com/Canada. Go check it out. It is fantastic. We've got Birdie Booze here in the house. Schmidt brought some in, and he's got the Velvet Cream over at Strathcona Spirits as well. Okay. Ken follows up. He says, does this start prove last year's start wasn't Woody's fault? A better question would be, did a coach need to be fired to wake the big boys up? This group always seems to maximize the new coach bounce. Happened with Tippett being fired, and it happened last season with Woody. We had the term coach killers pop up a couple of times in the text line on the postgame show Saturday afternoon, and I kind of chuckled because I think I called the team coach killers last year a couple of times.
Yeah.
I guess so, but we'll see. I mean, they didn't have 3 wins till the 14th game of the season last year. They're almost there.
Yeah. We got this.
They're aim low and achieve. So
You think it would make hard to get a good coach here? Like, do you think coaches that are good are like, shit, I don't really want to go to Edmonton if I don't have to because they'll shit the bed and I'll get blamed and punted.
away we go. Coaches are hard to get fired. I think they see how close this team is. I think they'd be okay.
They'd
with
be
that.
pretty pumped, yeah.
But now GMs, on the other hand, there's been moments where I know in recent years before Ken Holland came on, things were in turmoil around here, and there were GMs, potential ones, to come to this organization that were like, no. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that I don't want to deal with that crap, and then they just turn it down or just not interested.
Was it Old Boys Club they were worried about, or was it?
No,
Just-
just how everything operates here,
Just the-
and the microscope and the pressures that come from above.
The joys.
The joys.
Tommy knows the joys.
Yes, absolutely. So, we'll see. If we're talking about a win on Wednesday morning's hangout, I think the waters will be a little bit calmer.
Hell yeah! Post game, you guys will be Jones.
Well, I like it when people are fired up. I enjoyed the post game on Saturday. We had a really good post game. It was Derek Van Diest was on location with me. Hernan was angry, and then Brad Malone making.
Hernan was angry.
Oh, Hernan was very angry, and then Brad Malone was great. What are you laughing at?
Okay, so in the nasty chat, Starzilla, who moonlights as Looney Len in the EST inbox. So I don't know if you saw I think you saw or heard about it. The birds of summer.
What were the birds of summer?
Okay,
Go
so
on.
last week the Philly game when Stetcher fought and then Corey Perry fought.
Yeah,
and the players, the Philly players, Couturier and I always flub up his name. Anyways, it's irrelevant.
Wasn't it
Farabee?
Farabee, yeah.
We're ushered to the penalty box, and there was a girl. You know how they have the penalty box camera?
Yeah.
There was a girl behind the bench, and she gave the double birds emphatically to the players. And that was my fired up, not the birds, but we have a fired up segment presented by Gemco and Napoleon on the Reed Wilkins show.
Yes.
And that was my fired up because Stetcher, when Perry came to the box, gave him a huge slap on the ass, and they were fired up. And you could see the tide, the tide turn in that game after those fights. And that was after Skinner didn't go back to his crease and drew it, you know. Anyways,
Right.
The birds of summer.
Couturier's way.
So we're playing this clip during the segment on our show.
Right.
And Starzilla comes in the nasty chat and he says, "Hey, the girl giving the birds is my son. He took her to the game.
Oh, okay.
Those
Date
are his.
night.
Those are his seats.
Wow.
So Reed, in true Reed fashion, was like, "Are you?" So we followed up with it through a couple breaks, and sure enough, he's texting us in, and he's like, "Yeah, that's her name. Her name's Summer, and she's a hairstylist, and she went with my son Ezra
Yes.
to the game." So Reed's like, "Hey, we want to get Summer on the show to talk about this."
Okay.
So sure enough, by 5:45, we had Summer on for one of the most epic interviews you'll ever hear. She brought so much energy. She was amazing. This was the day after the Philly game.
So Wednesday.
Wednesday.
The game was on
go
Tuesday.
back and rewatch it. It was hilarious. So this Looney Len just texted in and said that. So anyways, during the interview, because he said that they didn't know if they were a couple or if this was romantic or if they're just friends.
Okay.
But he wanted us to find out. He asked that to suss it out. She made it very clear that they are friends.
Oh, no.
So that was kind of the thing, was that Ezra got friend zoned on the show. But it was all good. They seem like they're still, so that's why I'm laughing, because he said the birds of summer, maybe just at tomorrow night's game, Ezra has the tickets again. So just a waiting game now. So we might get the birds of summer.
That's hilarious.
What?
Version 2.
Question for Summer.
I'm gonna
and
go back and watch
the
this.
2-finger
You
salute.
have to.
Like,
She was.
why the middle finger to the players? They don't care.
No, she broke it down. She gave us the reason.
What was
Reed
the
said,
explanation?
what was the reasoning behind
Yeah.
your ferocity and your vigor in giving those the 2-fingered salute? And she said that they were beaking when they came to the box. The first Stetcher guy was beaking Stetcher.
Of course.
And then, but what she said and what a lot of people didn't see, because after the Stetcher fight, it went to commercial break. Mm-hmm. But Perry and Farabee were talking the whole time, and Farabee was lipping him off.
Really?
So she was fired up because she sensed that Corey Perry was going to have to drop the gloves with Farabee.
Which did happen.
So she was like, "Yeah, you got what you deserved, you punk." Because you recall, Perry missed like a Mike Tyson KO punch.
Yeah, he
undercut.
was swinging. But that
So there was no love lost there. So she was fired up for the Oilers, and she was just emphatic. And they were all
Probably a
flipped
few
and cut up.
libations deep.
We didn't even ask her. I would have to assume,
assume as
she's
much.
18. We did find out that she was 18, so she
Okay.
was of legal drinking age.
That's good.
But she said now, and they said that they're going to make Birds of Summer T-shirts.
Okay.
So through that all,
she's got
the Birds of Summer. Yeah. So through that all, through Looney Len, I said that when the new hat orders come in, that I'm getting 2 hats for them on me to wear in those seats.
Sweet.
Perfect.
Because they
Good
get a lot
spot.
of get a lot of press there.
Yeah.
And especially if the Birds of Summer is there, given the 2-finger salute.
Let's get her a Smash Mash outfit. She'll wear.
I mean, the world is her oyster. Yeah, I don't know if they'll let her in.
Yeah.
But no, just an incredible turn of events that day for somebody to see it in the video and then say, hey, that's my son's friend that he took to the game.
That is
We've
funny.
established
get
she's
her
in the
on.
friend zone. Yeah.
And honestly, if you haven't heard it, go back and listen to the
gonna go
last
watch.
20 minutes of the Reed Wilkins show last Wednesday. It was just, her energy level was through the roof. It was great.
Hilarious.
I would take a Birds of Summer fan behind the opposing team penalty box as opposed to smashing, banging glass guy in Dallas. I hate
that.
banging glass guy in Dallas. And we've seen the girls that are showing off some assets behind
In Dallas
and what strikes me as I'm just like, oh, like you look because you're like, okay, well, look at that. But this is deliberate. This is deliberate. There are people that are like, there are people, it's not just women doing it, but there's guys that go to games and they want the attention too and they want notoriety. And I'm just like, I kind of roll my eyes at those people where I'm like,
Yeah, because
Go
they're
watch the game.
douchebags.
Yeah.
But there was one girl behind the Oilers bench during the playoffs, and like people were bringing her on other shows.
No, but the
It's
guy
like,
that does
come
that, specifically with the girl that's
Yeah.
got everything out
Yeah.
for everybody to see, like,
yeah,
you're just an absolute loser.
Yeah.
You are.
bringing the heat.
Cowboys Calgary did it like during the playoff run. They put 4 Cowboys girls back behind
Woodcroft.
But
Yeah.
if
remember
they're
in the
doing it
playoffs,
and they're in their Cowboys gear, hey, you
That's
want to pay?
advertising.
You want to pay
Advertising.
for that advertising?
Yeah.
I tip my hat to you.
But it's-
it's the guy,
Yeah.
the mid-50s, probably short. He's probably 5'6".
Yeah.
He's probably got 2 hair jobs done. He's been to Turkey twice,
Yeah.
and he's bringing this girl in with him to
Yeah.
make himself seem like he's
Yeah.
machismo.
Roll up
I
in
have
Mazda
no time
Miata.
of day.
The self-serving. Yeah.
the red Miata.
Yeah.
It's almost like the Green Men in Vancouver, where you're like, okay, like
Those guys, yeah.
That was fun for a stretch.
and then it just
and then
became annoying. I think they brought them back for a game
Yeah.
recently. Was it last season or something?
What do you do after you go out with that?
I guess so. I don't know. Anyway, that's just me complaining like an old man.
Yeah.
Rip City Step.
What?
Well, Starzilla says Ezra unfortunately does not match Summer's enthusiasm because people are asking and asked us to have Ezra on for an interview, but he's a man of few words on a good day. That's Ezra's dad is here.
Looney Len.
Looney Len, yeah,
Okay.
and just a beauty. I talked to him after because it was a pretty passionate interview. And then Rip City Step says, every time I need to pick me up, I re-listen to the Birds of Summer interview.
I need to listen to this. Okay.
It was good.
She might get an Esty.
Well, it's already. If I could edit the SD list, I sent a request to because we have a working list.
Oh, yeah.
That if any people that are here all day,
Yeah.
if you feel like something should be on the list, throw it on the list, even if it gets X-dayed. But so immediately people were like, "This is guest of the year, EST worthy."
That good. Okay.
And so I went on to add it that night, and I can't add anything.
Are you locked out?
So I had to send a request to the owner or whatever, probably Maddie.
Yeah, probably Awanik. I would imagine.
So
Awanik
once I get
Google Doc.
ability to do this,
Yes.
maybe
The
it's
ivory tower.
yeah. If I don't have, I know Maddie's away right now, so I didn't.
Yeah.
He's
And
back
he was
tomorrow.
away that day too, Thursday, Friday, and he's away.
Yeah.
So tomorrow I hope to gain access to this coveted list, and
Yeah.
I'm going to throw that on.
I've added to that list. It's a fantastic Google
Oh,
document.
I bet. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I was able to read it,
Yeah.
and there was already some really good submissions. And I mean, what better way than people that are here listening to it all day? And you can put in, your text of the year, your rant of the year, whatever you want.
Yeah,
You can
perfect.
just add it so that you don't miss anything, which was hard to do last year
Yeah, we scrambled
because the
Right.
Esties weren't even a twinkle in their eye
for
till
an idea.
like early in 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had all that fall content that may have been missed. So this year we're getting on it.
I like
Yeah.
it. We've got some. Awanik is gonna. I think he'll get on it. We got some text coming in Paris Jewelers inbox in regard to your short guy comment. Short guy comment. Awesome glue guy. Ha ha. And then another one from
I
Aaron
don't
the
mean it if
account.
you're short. I just mean like this is the stereotypical guy that's doing this.
Right. I mean, small something is
Yeah,
what we
small
like to
something.
point
Let's say-
out.
Well, it's, yeah.
Aaron the account says, "What's wrong with being 5'6"? Hashtag boycott Milne."
Yeah.
Oh, that's harsh.
In context of the guy
It's-
that's doing it with this girl, that's the problem.
It's the premise, yeah. And then,
I have nothing
and then
against short people.
On top of it, too, it's like the self-serving nature of it. Like, hey, I'm gonna bring this girl.
Exactly.
She's
Yeah.
got, big boobs.
Norm has had thought he was talking about me. Norm's a taller fella, and I have
Norm's a
nothing
big guy.
against.
Norm
Yeah.
I
towers
have
over
nothing
us.
against
Yeah,
shorter people.
Norm's a big guy.
It's just you're punching above your weight class. I was trying to set a scene.
I know, but we're
Yeah.
talking about like the self-serving fan that wants the attention and the spotlight, and
Yeah.
that's the premise of that whole discussion. But you gave a nice example, and people are
I did.
chiming in about it at
painted a
the
picture.
Paris Jewelers inbox.
It's-
Yes,
it's what you gotta do.
exactly.
Radio, you know?
Painting a
It's-
picture.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to give out the EST Flyaway to LA keyword because the EST Flyaway to LA is proudly presented by the 780, which is a homegrown local shop right here in Edmonton. 780, both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to E-Town. They also work with close to 100 local vendors from the 780 area code to help promote and get their brands off the ground. Check them out online at 780.com. It's the word 7, the number 80.com, or at any of their 5 locations: Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport. The 780, lame ass, low budget, local shop online at 780.com or in store Londonderry, EIA, Southgate, St. Albert, and Kingsway. Keyword today. Text it in to 780-218-9999. Get ready. The keyword for today is, do you guys remember?
No, that was going to be asked. I knew it.
Kopitar. Text that in now, 780-218-9999. Kopitar. 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 There's your keyword, and we will qualify somebody for our Flyaway to LA trip in conjunction with the 780. What do you think of that, Schmidt? You get to go to baseball, or not
Yeah.
baseball, basketball, Warriors, Clippers, football,
Sounds-
Rams, Cardinals, and then hockey, either Edmonton, Anaheim, or Edmonton, LA.
Yeah.
Everything taken care of.
That's pretty sick.
Which one would you look forward to the most?
The hockey. I mean, everyone you see going to the hockey game in their shorts in the middle of winter. You're always like, "F those guys." But
Well, T-Roy does that here.
Well, yeah.
he's
He
an
has
animal.
lined shorts for the winter.
Animal.
The Godfather.
Doesn't matter.
That is animal-like.
Yeah.
It's animal. Like
He's putting fur
I think
on
the
him.
whole trip would be great. I think once upon a time I won a trip down to Nashville, and we went.
man.
Yeah, well, I paid at a silent auction for it, so
Okay.
one of those wins. And 4 of us went down, and there was an Oiler game, and we went out wearing like cowboy boots, shorts, and Oiler jerseys, just like a bunch of goofballs.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed
When
to
in
do.
Rome.
Yeah, and it was actually a double divorce trip.
No.
So me and another friend of mine were both recently divorced. So as soon as you tell people that you're on, it's like better than a stag.
Wow.
People are so amped for you. So we had one of the best times ever. And that city's a city. Like it's a party
Nashville.
city. Bookended by Titans and Preds arenas. You have Broadway, which is like every bar is 3-4 stories. You got different music
Rooftop
on every
patios.
nuts.
It is awesome.
Nuts. And when they brought those goalposts
Yeah.
down
Threw him in the
Broadway,
river.
that's nuts.
Yeah.
2.4 miles
I know.
from Vanderbilt, which is way north of downtown.
Yeah.
Or is it? Sorry, it's south of downtown.
Yeah.
And they carried around like they have a ring road around Nashville. It's not as wide as the Henday is here, but they essentially carried it from like Sherwood Park all the way downtown.
Yeah.
Like they crossed over the ring road with the goalposts.
Yep.
And went right through Broadway, threw them in the river.
That's a whole different energy. Like
Yeah, it
that
is.
is.
Hey yo.
It is amazing, that city, and it's growing a lot too. Like from when I was traveling with the Oilers I was there. I got sent there for trade deadline 2 or 3 years ago by the network, and it's booming like crazy. And I remember going to you go where Broadway is, where all the
Yep.
all the tourists are.
Honky tonk bars are.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
great. It's an experience in itself, always a lot of fun. But then you go to like where the locals hang out, and there's a spot called the Gulch.
The Gulch, yeah.
And I love the Gulch.
That's on the way to Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
That's where we
well.
stayed when we went down. We went down for the Kentucky Derby.
Oh yeah, that's
So
right.
we bookended the trip. The first 2 days we stayed right downtown by the arena.
Yep.
Then when we came back from Louisville, we stayed out right in the Gulch. And the Gulch is
The Gulch is great.
and it's right on Country Music Row.
Yep.
Like all the Nashville is just a riot.
It's awesome. We go to this place. My favorite restaurant at the Gulch is called Saint Anejo. And
We went to that
great
restaurant.
tequilas, great food.
That's crazy.
And well, it's a fantastic spot, and it's in that little area. And
We couldn't get in. I went.
you went to try to get it.
Yeah.
Okay. And we were there on like a Tuesday night, like a quiet Tuesday, quiet, quote unquote, having dinner. And it was just packed. It got more and more packed. And you're looking around and you're like, wow, everybody's very good looking in here right now. And it was just such a good vibe, and like groups of women, and then, and a good, just a good, cool presence. And I go to the waiter at the end of the night after we're paying up, and I go, hey, like, what's going on here? Like, this should be like a Saturday, and it's Tuesday. He goes, oh, yeah. He's like, my work is full of hot, shitty people.
Oh yeah.
And then he sashayed away. I was like,
Oh yeah.
bravo, sir. Bravo.
His soul's been crushed a
Oh,
few
yeah,
times.
yeah. And it was very funny. And I was like, that is too good. So yeah, Nashville's great.
Oh yeah.
You know what's funny? We went there in 2018,
Okay.
and they had the Bird scooters there.
Oh,
Of course.
that was
There's
the
lots
first
of
time.
hills
Yeah.
downtown.
That was the
Nashville.
first time we had ever seen them. So we're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Especially there, you can be anywhere
Yeah.
so fast, and
Yeah.
it's fun. And they were not even a thought here.
Yeah.
Because it was such a young, like, I called the Bird company, and I was like, wanting to talk to them about
Hello, Mr.
like
Bird.
expansion. Yeah, Monty Bird.
Jay Milne here.
No, I wanted to say, like, are you guys looking to bring this up to Canada? Because I
Right.
think this would be cool.
Yeah.
Around White Ave or whatever.
Absolutely.
And I talked to somebody there, like exchanged emails.
No way.
Yeah, that never panned
Well,
out.
you are a businessman.
Well, but then when I was driving on River Valley Road one day here, probably about a year ago, I saw kids picking one of those up and throwing it into the river.
Brilliant.
So probably, I'd imagine that's a tough pill to swallow,
That's,
having a $10,000 unit or whatever they cost at the bottom of the North Saskatchewan River.
Yeah. You see some of them in really, really rough shape, and you're just like, oh my goodness. That's,
I wonder how many of those are in the river.
Oh, there's quite a few.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's terrible.
Oh, why? Why? Why
do
can't we have nice
this
things?
is
why can't we have
it all
nice things?
circles back to
Yes.
why Edmonton can't have nice things. Yeah.
Text in the keyword Kopitar 780-218-9999. Paris Jewelers inbox. You got a couple more minutes, then Trev will pick our next qualifier for the EST Flyaway to LA. Let's get to Road Warriors now, presented by AccuSteel Heavy Haul Trailers. Custom manufacturing of heavy haul trailers, quality, innovation, integrity, full repair service, retrofit department. No patch jobs, better than new solutions. Trusted by the leaders in the heavy transport industry. Get on the road with peace of mind for your large loads. AccuSteel.ca. Boys, we're talking about being on the road in Nashville. We've got the Monday Nighters tonight. We've got the World Series settled. Now it's going to be the Dodgers and the Yankees. Speaking of literally being on the road, we had an F1 race for the first time in what felt like ages. Lewis Hamilton off the road and out of the race yesterday. Where do you want to go with the Road Warriors today?
Schmidt,
I'll put it in your hands.
Schmidt, you're the guest.
Yeah. What caught your attention, Schmitty?
The World Series is gonna be epic. I mean, you're looking at like Ohtani is a lifetime player already straight to the World Series, and baseball's an interesting sport. It's almost like it's not like NHL and these and NBA where you can't really buy yourself into the World Series. I feel like MLB is a little bit like you can kind of buy yourself into the World Series.
The Yankees and the Dodgers, literally.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it came to fruition. Here we are. They are going to be, back and forth to the biggest cities in the States, and a lot of fanfare and a lot of storylines. So pretty excited for that to start on Friday in LA. Hope it goes deep. I think Dodgers have it, but we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'm just
I don't know. Like
in
the
an Ohtani
Guardians.
craze.
No, but like I think the Dodgers are going to win too. But the Yankees, it's funny in that series. It seemed like every time the Yankees took advantage of the Guardians were messing up on their fielding. Easy, simple plays. Rocchio dropping the ball, one of the more sure-handed shortstops in the league. They couldn't convert a double play the other day. I think it led to a Stanton home run again. Like it just felt like the Guardians let it slip away. Good on the Yankees. I mean, they have two giants just crushing 420-foot dingers left, right, and center. And it seemed like the Yankees just knew they were going to beat the Guardians, which is too bad.
Yeah. They have the confidence of the Yankees, like they always do. But the hitting power of LA is going to be hard to suppress.
To overcome.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't really think the Mets had it. I just thought you just knew it was going to be the Dodgers. And the other thing too, like not having another Subway Series. Do you think that's good or bad?
I like the history of the LA Yankees rivalry is pretty big as well. It isn't any Subway Series. I think spreading it out, and I think for the MLB getting their new star guy to the World Series, is they're cashing that all the way to the bank. They're happy. So.
I think this is the A1 matchup that MLB would have wished for coming into the season.
Yeah.
Right?
Funny how that happens. But yeah, it's
Funny, eh? Do you ever think about, like, I mean,
Well, it's like the NFL. It's scripted, obviously.
There's our tinfoil hats.
Yeah.
they're the best teams, but it's, it's going to be. Now, are they going to give extra days off given the travel?
Until Friday.
I know, but once the series starts.
It won't
Let's
be back
take a
to
look
back.
at
Because that's, they did that with the Panthers Oilers, right?
That's going to be a thing in hockey going forward. They're not changing.
For the finals?
Yeah, they're going to take the extra days. They've already said it that they're not going to take extra. Or they are going to take extra days off
for only the finals. Yeah.
for the finals. So we get
Well,
World
if the NHL
Series.
is, certainly MLB would be.
Yes.
They like to drag these things out forever.
Oh, yeah.
Worse than the NBA.
Game 1 in LA, 1:00 start our time on Friday.
Brilliant.
Sweet.
Game 2 is also 1 p.m. on Saturday. Game
Back
3
to backs, eh?
Yeah. Early.
They must then have 3 days off in between.
Well, Friday.
says 10 a.m. in New York.
This is the World
On
Series?
Yeah, what's going on here?
Something's wrong, Tom.
10 a.m. MST.
Yeah, these are all early starts.
Why? What's going on?
I don't know. I'm on TSN's app. Yeah.
Are they?
1 p.m., 10 a.m., 10 a.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m.
I don't have start times
1
here.
p.m.
On the Score app, it doesn't give start times.
On TSN
so maybe
app, it is.
TSN's just
That's crazy.
guessing. They're not playing the World Series at 10 a.m.
Our time.
So what?
So
that's
2
one.
hours.
That's 1 or noon Eastern. They're not playing a World Series. It's prime time. They've got to be prime time games. They have to be.
Yeah. Did TSN just slot those in? Just
I don't know.
I think that's false information.
You think that's false information?
I guarantee it is.
call Mr. Bird.
Yeah. Excuse me,
Get him
Mr.
on the
Bud.
It's your guy, Jamie.
Do you remember me?
Joel says, Judge sucks when he has a rest. Okay.
Oh.
Well, look how
Inside
early the start times were in the ALCS and NLCS.
Yeah, they were early. It was weird.
Yeah.
Are they trying to
Am I crazy?
dance around NFL schedules? I mean,
Could be. Series start time. Let's look at a schedule.
Oil Gill says times haven't been
Oh,
released
they're
yet.
all TBD. So that was just the app. Yeah. All right. I'm seeing TBD
Can you
here.
imagine starting the World Series game 1 at 1 in the afternoon?
No. That would be so weird. Anyway, okay.
What?
yeah, be
All right,
hungover
so
by
that-
6 p.m.
That was just the TSN.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that you could actually go to work the next. Well, it's a Friday, so you're Saturday.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be a mess.
Yeah, that would be a runaway.
Who is?
New York would shut down.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah.
At lunchtime.
Yeah.
Football.
Yeah, it was a pretty interesting weekend for NFL football. And my guy Jaden Daniels had to leave the game with a rib injury.
Oh no.
Yeah.
His mom tweeted out he's fine.
Thank God.
So that was funny. His mom is quite the character. And then did you see Deshaun Watson
Yes, and the crowd.
cheering?
Oh,
cheering.
booing? Oh, cheering. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I
That's savage.
listen, man. I know he's not the best guy, but just cheering an injury is not good.
That's a little tough look.
We're getting 8:08 start times Eastern for the
That
World
makes
Series.
sense.
That makes way more sense. Do you want to continue on?
Oh, do we have a caller?
Trev's in the studio now.
Trev is in
Hi,
the
Trev.
studio. Who we got, Trev?
We've got Steven on the phone.
Steven, you there? Is it ready?
Yeah, should be.
Hello, Thomas.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for dropping it, Thomas. Congratulations, Steven. You qualified for the EST Flyaway to LA.
Thank you guys so much.
Which game would you like to see most, Steven?
The Clippers' new arena.
Clippers' new arena. All right, the Intuit Dome. That's Clippers, Warriors. And who would you take should you win?
My wife.
My wife, Steven says. Well, congratulations, sir. You are qualified for the EST Flyaway to LA with the 780. And best of luck, pal.
Great. Thank you so much.
Awesome. There you go. Pays to listen and watch us here at EST. Steven is the next qualifier in. Says he would take his wife to LA. It's going to be a great trip. November 29th is the draw, and the final winner will be announced then. Obviously, the winner will be announced then on the Nielsen show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Taking his
Keep it
wife.
tuned. My wife.
What a stand-up guy that Steven.
Absolutely, he is. Okay, Jay, we're talking football. I was going to ask you, if you're the Elks, how are you mopping up this season on Friday
With a win.
against Toronto?
With a win. I need to get win to make my future. I bet on the Elks plus 6.5, over 6.5 wins. They're at 6.
Oh,
Yes.
No way.
Me and
This
a
is
few
big.
other nasties need that to come in.
If they get this win, they've already surpassed, like last year and the year before's win totals, obviously. Back-to-back 4-win seasons, which is not good. If they get to that 7th win, like how will you look at this season as a whole?
Well, and I must say, it is a meaningless game
Yeah, Argos doesn't
for
matter.
the Argos.
Yeah.
And Red,
Yeah.
so really want to see that win. How would I rate this year? I would say it's a success.
Actually?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Not on the field, but as much as it is off the field. Having private ownership come in and take control of this team, I think there's going to be a lot of promising changes made in the offseason,
Okay.
which starts with hiring a president
Yes.
for this organization who can then find whether it's a president of football ops / GM or a dedicated GM. I don't really care. Call it whatever you want. Find somebody that can run this team. I don't think G. Roy Simon is a terrible general manager. I mean, nor do I think Chris Jones was a terrible general manager. Chris Jones was not a good multitasker.
Yeah.
He could not do both, clearly. So the head coaching got a bit pushed to the side. But if you look at the players that were brought in,
good
I mean,
players.
you look at Curly Gittins Jr., McLeod Bethel-Thompson, Javon Leake.
Hergy Mayala, I thought, had a really good year, although he got hurt. So
So it'll be nice to see. Now, obviously, the question, and you can say all you want about McLeod Bethel-Thompson, but he's a serviceable quarterback. I don't think he's a starting quarterback anymore, but he's
Right.
serviceable to come in and play.
he's not a
meaningful
$500,000
reps.
a year quarterback.
He's grossly overpaid.
Yeah.
So the question, from my understanding, is whether he even wants to play football anymore.
Well, he's sort of walked away before.
Yeah.
Obviously, he came back to the CFL this year.
So that's why I'm led to, I don't think he's going to say, okay, I'll take a pay cut and be a backup, because it would have to be a significant pay cut.
Yeah.
So you could see a plan here where the McLeod Bethel-Thompson is gone and Trey Ford's possibly gone. Mm-hmm. And, Vernon Adams is going to be a free agent this offseason. I think he's got a much better track record. Well, I don't think he does have a much more proven track record than Trey Ford. Trey Ford does not have enough body of work. If Trey Ford wants to re-sign here, good. If he wants to test the open free market, go ahead. There's not going to be teams that are lining up to give you max starting QB dollars, because he's not.
Right.
He's not a starting
because of
quarterback.
the body of work. And
He's only beaten bottom of the barrel teams. He has not beaten the top teams. Now, he hasn't been offered the chance to either.
Right.
And I think that was one of the most critical mistakes that Jarius Jackson made this year, was not giving him the ball back after he laid an egg in the first Winnipeg game. Mm-hmm. And then they went to MBT. Mm-hmm. I think they should have given Trey Ford the ball in that game as well, because everybody's going to have off nights and bad games. It's in pro sports. Connor McDavid has them. Everybody has them. Trey Ford, now he was coming off 4.5 weeks of injury.
Right.
So he hadn't played in a long time. Laid an egg. They didn't give him a chance to say, hey, that was a bad game. That was on me. Let me show you what I really got against a tough, potential Grey Cup winning team in Winnipeg. I don't think they gave him and afforded him that opportunity. So the question's still out there. Who is Trey Ford? What is Trey Ford? He looked good against Calgary. That's Calgary, right? I mean, that's not Toronto. That's not Montreal. That's not Saskatchewan. That's not Winnipeg. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. I think you lock up VA though and see what happens with Ford. And then
If you can get VA, you get them. Because who are the other teams that are looking for a bona fide starter in the CFL?
Oh, I think Calgary will be.
Well, Calgary should be.
that's the one, big one.
I don't know what's going to happen in Hamilton if they go back to Bo Levi. And the guys on the morning show were saying Bo Levi had a good season statistically.
I'd have to look, but I bet he's top 3 in the CFL for passing yards.
I think he's right up there.
And he got benched for 2 games.
I know.
Yeah, that's huge.
He hung up 5 on
Ever since Bo Levi went overalls, he's been pretty good.
That was a good one.
VA, like you're talking about, helped BC just torch Montreal 27-3 the other night. VA 26 for 36, 385, 2 TDs, 2 picks in that game.
I mean, you look at this team. There needs to be changes made on the defensive side of the ball.
We're talking about the Elks here.
Elks, sorry. You got, I mean, Niles Morgan and Nick Anderson both went over 100 tackles this year.
Yeah.
That's incredible. They need to make changes on their defensive line. They did not get enough pressure unless there was a blitz package involved. They did not get enough 4-man pressure, which is not going to get you. It's not going to help you. You need to get rushes and hurries on these quarterbacks. And the defensive secondary, albeit was young. It was a young secondary. Got torched quite often.
Yeah.
They seem to tighten it up mid-season. And, we had Shivers on our show, and it was the learning process was starting to finally click in.
Yeah.
But then you have these inexcusable lapses where they give up massive plays. It's too consistent that this team gave up massive plays that just broke the backs of. Because, I mean, when you give up a big play, well, your offense is on the field right away after. The defense, the defense was not. It was funny. In the middle of the season, they were able to get 2 and outs, get the offense back on the field. Then, start of the season, end of the season, they were allowing these sustained drives. So they just get tired. And then, so there's a lot of problems. But I would say the problems would be the defensive line.
Yeah.
That would be number 1 for me. They had no pressure. 0 pressure unless they sent blitzes. The secondary, and then, finding out what you got with quarterback.
Yeah, I think if you told me at the start of the season we were going to get 6 or 7 wins, you told any Elks fan, they'd be like, sweet.
Yeah.
I'm going to see a win.
Yeah.
I'm going to. And, that's a win altogether for the Elks this year. And I think there's a lot, like you mentioned, a lot of room to grow and move forward with new ownership and everything else like that. It's going to be a little bit of a shuffle, but we can learn from this year and what they changed up. And
Schmidt, you're a man about town. You got a good finger on the pulse of the city. Do you sense a bit of a renaissance with the Elks? Like, do you get an idea and feeling that maybe people are starting to pay attention to this team again? Because we did see a couple crowds over 30,000.
Yeah.
Or at least one. I know
They sold out the lower bowl there.
Yeah, that was good.
And I think Thompson will bring a product next year that people are going to be excited about. You can continue to, do a couple flashy halftime things, and you can, get that tailgate going and everything else like that. But he's got to get buy-in from the community and get everyone kind of getting back there. He's got to get, buses going again. Remember
the buses were 10, great.
20 bars would do buses. Yeah. And got to kind of get that activation going again. And then, see what happens. Hopefully get a good schedule, get some sunny days against Saskatchewan and fill some seats.
When you were at, where the hell were you?
Billiard?
Which one?
Billiard?
At Billiard Club.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a bus?
Yeah, we did a few. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a shit show. I don't think anybody watched the game.
Well, but they
in
were
the
there.
stands drinking
Yeah.
more than our
The
fair
worst
share.
part about those buses is trying to find your bus after the game.
Well, I think
like,
I
oh
did
god,
it
there's
once.
50 yellow buses.
Which one's mine?
Yeah. No,
You're like, wait, I think I put the number in my phone. No, I didn't. Well,
yeah, and then
end up in the Clearview pub.
Yeah. Whoops. Whoops. Yeah. Calling Tommy to help you out on the north side.
Oh,
Give
boy.
you some
Yeah.
street cred up there.
I'll come by. I got you. No, but
No, buses are good. I mean,
That
that,
was
gets
one way
the
to do
younger
it.
generations like into it too, right? Like these,
It's like a pub crawl-esque
Yeah.
feel to it.
yeah, bring some excitement. But yeah, like what you guys are doing at tailgate and stuff, like bringing people down, giving them some excitement, bringing that kind of American, college
Event.
football events to it, which people love. And they've been lucky enough to kind of turn a blind eye to having some pops before the game down
there's
there.
no
and
alcohol there at all.
There's never been.
No,
I've never seen it.
absolutely
Red Solo
not.
cups are always water anyway.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And Sprite.
it's and Sprite. Yes, yes. So yeah, it's a lot of good things moving in the right direction, and I think you're right. The buzz around town is growing from a couple of years of just don't give me free tickets because I won't go. Now it's like,
Apathetic.
I'll go.
Yeah,
I'll spend a couple bucks. Sounds
Yeah.
fun. Yeah,
that's a good thing.
it is.
Yeah, and that's why I said that this was a positive year, mostly because of things that happened off the field.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see what Larry Thompson does. But I really hope that they take this opportunity to clean house.
yeah.
On the football ops.
I mean, it sucks when you're talking about people's livelihoods here,
Right.
obviously. So I say this respectfully, but you don't get these opportunities that often
Yeah.
to go ahead and try and change the culture like overnight. Bring in your guys, because I can't help but think that Larry Thompson does not already have a president in mind.
we're
or a
expecting an
short
announcement as soon as this week, even.
Yeah. So, I mean, Jarius Jackson, I think is a very accomplished offensive coordinator. I don't know if he's the right guy for head coach. G. Roy Simon. I mean, obviously, there's going to be a future for him in this league.
Yeah,
as
I
a
would
general
think so.
manager, I would assume. So maybe they are the right guys, just tweaking their roles a bit. But then the question is this: is is Paul LaPolice the only friggin' option that you
No.
have? No, I know. And so like, it seems like the CFL has a great way of regurgitating these old and okay, you get fired from this job. We'll go join the TSN crew and do their panel. And then, oh, wait, next year you're going to get rehired as get out of here. Go find a new coach.
Yeah.
Go find somebody that, like we've said it on our show before, Mark Killam down in Calgary.
Yep.
He's a former Golden Bear. He's been the special teams coordinator and an assistant head coach in Calgary for the Stampeders. I still don't know how he hasn't shook free yet as a head coach. He's a young guy. He could build and from all accounts, he's an exceptional coach. So, it'd be nice to see some new blood brought in as coach and then assemble your coaching staff how you see fit.
I think the coaching cap, Wannick talks about it, has an effect because it's restrictive, right? And the price, you can't like develop the next wave of coaches, basically.
Well, that's also up to Larry Thompson.
Yeah, but
you can pay a guy out and just say, here, be gone.
Okay, well,
right?
that's fair.
And if you got deep enough pockets,
I think he
which
has a
is the
couple
problem
bucks.
with having to deal with a board of directors. That
That's fair.
Right.
you're dealing with a board for day-to-day football decisions. What are we doing
that's
here?
heinous.
Deal with one guy. Larry says, how much? Okay, here's the check.
Yeah.
Right? Then
Yeah,
we're
that's
done.
true.
See ya.
Yeah.
Away we go.
Find
That
a new
is
guy.
nice.
Getting wins.
That is nice. Things will move a lot faster. And they have to.
Michael via the Paris Jewelers inbox says they need to get a park and ride back to the south side. Do they not have park and ride? Like I scoot from downtown or I hop on the LRT, which makes it very convenient. I know the LRT is free like 2 or 3 hours before and after the game, which is great. But they used to have all
The
kinds
south
of
side
park and ride.
Park and ride, yeah.
Yeah.
Do they not have that anymore?
I don't know.
And they
Michael,
all
let us
land.
know.
They all land between the LRT and the stadium. I'm pretty sure.
I thought so. Like South
That's where the buses,
Yeah,
they
that's
park
the
there.
best. Yeah,
There's
yeah.
like
They're
Century Park. There's ample parking. I would think that they do park and ride there, right? Or is he talking about ETS buses park and ride,
still ETS bus,
like a
I
shuttle
think.
service?
Yeah, from different areas that aren't serviced by the LRT line.
Maybe that's what he's talking about.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Didn't it used to be if you had an Oilers or Elks ticket, you could ride the LRT for free?
Yeah, it still happens.
That's a thing.
That's still a thing. Yeah.
Do people know about that?
I hope so.
I don't think they
mean,
do
it's not
enough.
new.
I don't think they do. Because why wouldn't you park at
Century,
Century or
wherever.
Southside or in Mill
Southgate.
Woods or
And the train station they did a great job. It's way better than the old one. The old one was rough.
Yeah.
That was sketch. Actually,
there's-
Coliseum one's still kind of sketchy.
Yeah, it is. It's unfortunate. There's what's the one that's like even further? That's like out by the area that never got to build, Blatchford. There's a brand new like Blatchford LRT station.
There is?
It's amazing,
Really?
and it sits there empty because Blatchford never got finished.
My aunt bought a place there. She's in one of the
She's
few-
in one of those.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. Basically, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is nice.
There's a
So
brand
much space.
new-
Yeah.
so nice.
You don't realize how much room is there in that old airport land.
Oh, tons.
Monster part of the city.
Botched project though.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's all.
Hang on, where's that sign that says "Don't get"? Oh yeah, I think it's up there. Don't get into politics, Schmidt.
Oh yeah.
But that's okay.
we
We can
talked
dump
about-
on stuff the city. I mean, like
No. We
bridges-
talked about bike lanes once, and it went south.
Well, Awanik
really?
doesn't like the bike lane argument. I was like, we have bike lanes that are literally swept before the roads, and nobody's on them. All I see is people like pushing cars.
I see cars go down them sometimes.
I've
by
seen cars
accident.
go down bike lanes. Where I live, right across from the arena, there's a couple of bars and restaurants literally right beside my building. And I remember one day I was coming home from a game, and somebody had their I think they had a Ferrari or McLaren, and they parked it right outside in the
Awesome.
bike lane. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, fine,
my
whatever.
I wonder what would happen if you were a cyclist and you
smoked.
ran into that thing as hard as you could and went ass over tea kettle over this thing and
Yeah.
my arm
Made a claim.
made a claim.
There's only,
I bet
one,
you
there's only one way to find out.
Schmitty, what are you doing this
Want to
week,
test
bud?
this theory?
Got an old bike, an
Yeah.
old Norco.
Yeah, I actually do. Yeah.
I just kind of was like,
Yeah.
bravo, like this is
I
ridiculous.
remember when I was at billiard, the owner would always roll up and just park in like the waiting zone and just go up and down white, just leave his Rover there.
Really?
Didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Bob.
Yeah, he owned
He owned a bunch.
because I
Julio's.
bartended at the Iron Horse.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
the old
shit.
Idaho. Hey.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, I started as a busboy there. and
Yeah.
then worked up.
With Rob Ferguson.
Yeah, Fergie.
Fergie. Yeah.
You would know. Fergie just did a piece out at
He did.
Julio's, right?
Yeah. He's done at the Barrio, and he's
Isn't he at the other place down the road?
He's slinging beers at a brand new little brewery on Happy Beer Street called
Okay.
Southbound Brewing.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
So go say
We
hi
used to go
him.
to Squires a lot.
Oh hell yeah.
That was a good spot.
Wasn't
Billiards,
Borley there?
Squires.
No, Borley's
J-Mac?
always been a Hudson's guy. J-Mac ran Iron Horse.
Iron Horse.
Kinger was running
Kinger.
Squires.
Yeah, that's right. Kinger.
And there was all Sherwood Park boys. And it was
Yes,
just
that's
an
why.
absolute debauch.
Ryan King. What? It
well,
was
yeah.
Andrew or
Andrew bartender.
Andrew
probably.
King. Yeah, the whole King crew.
All you Sherwood Park guys, you're just like, yeah, those are my boys.
Oh yeah, we stick tight. Of
Yeah.
course. Well, and then Squires down below was the wing place when we were in university.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, 10-cent wings.
Yeah.
You used to play rock, paper, scissors for your drink.
What?
It was lawless, man. It was lawless. I loved it.
Then there was a place.
Time to be alive.
Casey Grable ran it. It was Woolly Bullies.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? They had
yeah.
all you can eat ribs on Monday nights for Monday Night Football.
Uh,
It was like $10. All you can eat ribs.
El Cortez is there now.
El Cortez is there. Yeah,
I like El Cortez. I think
Me
it has a
too.
neat vibe to it.
I love El Cortez.
So
Really
lots
good.
of options on White Avenue, obviously. By the way, tonight, Monday Night Football, join Lieutenant Eric down at Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Always a good time. They've got 6 o'clock lager there. I think they have. Do you have Birdie Booze down at Century yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good.
Yeah, pretty sure. Had a couple birdie boos at Shamrock last night, actually.
Ooh.
And 6 o'clocker.
Ooh, at the curling
Yeah,
club.
at the curling club.
Did you
yeah.
see our boy Gavin there?
Yeah, he got me a little slot for team warm-ups, I guess. What a spot. Shamrock's
is.
just a gem of
It
a
has a
space.
vibe.
Yeah, it does. He's revitalized that into like a community space, and Yeah, great beers. Again, big EST guy, and he everything you guys are doing. It's in there.
We're
It's
big
awesome.
Shamrock guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're looking at doing a Bonspiel
Is it
potentially.
going to come
yeah.
to fruition? Can we dress up? Can I
do
get
whatever
weird?
you- Smitty, you do whatever you want.
We got to do costumes.
Would you be in on that?
100%.
I didn't know you were a curler.
Yeah.
Who isn't a curler?
I don't know.
Curling
No,
started
there's
up-
not that many people that are curlers, so I guess the rest of us can say we are curlers as well.
Okay.
Curling's great.
It's fun.
Yeah.
That's so weird that we're talking about curling. I just had an in-depth conversation with my daughter yesterday on the way to gymnastics about is curling fun and how hard is it?
Oh, it's
Extremely hard and lots of fun.
yeah.
So much fun. I mean, I haven't curled since high school, but I loved it.
It reminds me of golf in a way that
Yeah.
like you don't always get the greatest shot, but when you make that shot, it makes you want to come back. You know
And
what
the
I mean?
sliders,
Yeah.
Oh, the
the
ding.
sliders are the best part of it.
The
You
little
get-
plastic
Yeah,
thing.
you just whip up and down that ice.
Oh yeah.
That is kind of neat.
It's like, come on, that's the best part.
It is. Yes.
Now, as the defending champion of the Oilers alumni
Oh.
Bonspiel,
Wow.
yeah, I played 2 games out of the 4 or 5. Our team was out of Red Deer. We won. I
That's a
scored
very
1 point.
curling-esque thing to say. Our team was out of
Red Deer.
We were
Yes.
based out of Red Deer.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
joined the team.
This
We
is the
beat
team out of
Joaquin's
Saville
team.
Curling Club.
Yeah.
That's right. They were very good curlers, and it was a good mix. And it was at the Shamrock, and it was a lot of fun. And but like even before the Bonspiel started, all the regulars were there,
Oh yeah.
and they had it was young families and kids playing up in the lounge, and
Yeah.
Angela and Gavin slinging drinks and we did the pre and post game show from there that day. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's a good spot.
yeah.
And a lot more rinks like Crestwood's getting, revitalized. There's a lot of good
Well,
rinks out there.
our nasty at the Garrison there is doing a big thing as well at the Garrison Curling
Mike?
Club. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'd be remiss if we didn't say anything about
Yeah.
them, but they are offering 10% off for Bonspiels for EST Nasties.
That's a great thing.
Sweet.
Yeah. So because that Shamrock thing, that goes way back. And Maddie actually reached out to him to say, just so you know, this goes way back with the Shamrock
Yes.
Club.
Yes.
So, but we will be getting over to the Garrison as well at some point to
Excellent.
to do something. Maybe we could have a shootout. Put your skills to the test.
That's a good
young
idea.
Tommy.
Do some Grey Cup thing there or something.
Something.
Yeah.
Got to
yeah.
do something because the Elks won't be in it. I got news for you. No, but
Hot
you said
take.
that with Larry to revitalize and the name thing is done. Like let's move on.
You don't think they're going to revisit that?
No, it's a double E,
Okay.
and now you can't be looked at with scorn for saying the double E, because a lot of double E'ers before were people that still wanted to call it. I'll just say it, the Eskimos.
Yeah.
But now it is embraced as the double E. And my take on that is to, in your mind, to think of it however you want to remember that team. But they are now the double E. When they're being announced, they're gonna be the Elks. I don't think there's a way
Sure.
that they can go back. I really don't.
Yeah.
It's like how they treated Trey Ford. Like too many snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snaps, and people are gonna be lost in the shuffle. Right?
Can you say that again?
Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap.
That's another shirt.
The Office.
Yeah.
yeah.
When Michael's talking about getting snipped.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's one of the
Missed
greatest episodes of all time.
It is.
That's when they have the dinner party and Jim and Pam go over
Oh,
to their
people
house.
talk about this.
And they got the little
TV.
TV. Classic, classic Office. But yeah, I think that's done. But I think there's a lot of things that this organization can do to, I guess, liken the good old days or
Right.
whatever. Whether you have, and I think a lot of it is affordability driven. Affordable for families.
Yeah.
Affordable, obviously, for larger groups. But you look at the Stingers, the Riverhawks, and the families that they're attracting.
Yep.
It's huge.
Well, it's driven by their pricing. Their pricing is reasonable, right? You can go to a Stingers game and get popcorn for $2.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can get a hot dog for $2.
I
You
know
can
they
get
have
a
like
beer.
$5 drinks.
You can get a beer for $5. It's a Michelob Ultra, but it's a beer. It's a beer.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a lot more of that coming down the pipe with this organization, because Larry is a long time season ticket holder.
Yes.
He wants nothing more than to see that stadium energized. And let's just say it. And that's why I say, like, this name stuff, whatever, move on.
There's more important stuff.
Put a product on the field that is good, and they will come.
Yeah,
they did this year. For a city that has been very, very anti this organization because of, I mean, the name has to come into it, but it was mostly the play on the field. It was trash.
Uninspired, that's for sure.
4-14, 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
But now you have a little bit of hope. And you know, whether it's Trey Ford or a guy like VA, I don't know, and I don't care. Bring in somebody that is going to make this exciting and get back to the winning ways, the double E ways. And actually, I'm going to be talking to Trent Brown about that today on our show.
Perfect. I like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have a question in regard to what Jay was talking about, Schmidt, and he talked about like the affordability. You're in the liquor game, and you hear like $5 Mick Ultras. Yes, we can joke because Mick Ultras, Mick Ultra, whatever. But the price point, $5, like, is a $5 beer, like, it's doable, is it not? Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. There's still
like
margins.
you're still
there.
making good money off of it, right?
Yeah, it's all volume. I mean, if you're gonna sell, 5 times more beers and make less margin, you're still ahead big time, right?
Yeah.
So if you go to the Oilers or the Edmonton hockey team's arena and pay for for whatever it is, up to $18 or whatever, it's a $20 bill for a beer, whatever. Yeah. Well, I'm probably only going to have 1 or 2. I'm going to have a few extra before I go.
Yeah.
And then go for a couple after, sure.
Right.
But if I have a $5 Ultras, like, give me 2 per period and let's go. Or $5 better beer, hopefully. But, I'm happy to have a few more at the arena. And yeah, they're going to sell no matter what. That's an anomaly kind of a location, but doing what they're doing at Stingers, I've been to quite a few of those games. They're awesome. It's lively. It gives you a taste of like live basketball. It makes me want to go to the NBA games. It makes me want to like go see what else is out there for basketball. Having not been a basketball fan my whole life, I didn't think much of it, but I'm excited to go again. And then the Riverhawks. I mean, you can't beat that Ball Diamond.
And the local beers there, that's a big part of it.
It's huge. Alley Cat being there and a few other of the local guys jumping on in there. They probably need a local distillery, so I should go say hi.
That's right. But we know a guy.
I think they created a product and they sold out this year, like selling out Hellas.
Yeah.
It's good ball. Don't get me wrong. It's not AAA, but it's good ball.
The guys getting drafted. Like literally, what do they have? 5 guys drafted this year.
And you just finally get to show people that product. And they're like, yep, I just went out with my family, spent, call it $100, all in. All my food, all my tickets for a family of 4 is like, you're laughing.
But like, are you living and dying on if the Riverhawks or the Stingers win or lose?
No.
And nor do your kids care.
Yeah.
They're just happy to have a hot dog and like see some guy racing kids in the outfield and singing on the big screen. And and honestly, like the drones at both these games are incredible too.
They are cool.
And they like, it's just weird things that catch. I was saying earlier about that Old Navy commercial. I don't know why kids like some of the things they do. They just do. So like get a drone going around Commonwealth during the game.
They do have one. It is pretty neat.
But like, interactive where it's like over section E.
Yeah.
And, wave to the, like
defense, whatever,
exactly,
right?
something.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see a lot more back. I'd like to see the big fire truck brought back, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
it's
Larry
like
can
a
drive
room
that
thing,
through.
right? Like, because the sidelines are
Make
tight.
room, figure it out. Larry can drive that thing right through the visiting bench
on
again.
the concourse, I believe. Yeah.
That was the best.
That was pretty funny.
Oh my gosh.
They don't use the big one anymore. It's just the little guy.
Bring back the slingshots that kill people with the balloons.
Yeah, that's not good.
I just want to bring back everything
There's
since
a
like the
Simpsons
1990s.
episode about that. We should be
Sorry,
careful.
I'm nostalgic about it.
The drone at Commonwealth, it's funny because they brought it in, I think, this year. And I was working with the games. I'm sitting on the visiting team sidelines kind of watching, and I've got the PR guy from the team there. And he's looking up at it. He goes, this drone, when did they bring this in? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure just this season. He goes, oh, cool. Like, neat shot. And then he goes, but I'm a little bit worried that it might be stealing our signals and signs. And I was like, I don't know if that camera can do it. And he's like,
The PR guy for the visiting team?
Yeah. And I'm like, I go to him, I don't think it's got that quality to do that. And all it does is this, you see the scoreboard shot and he's sitting there looking at it. He goes, did the league approve this? I'm like, I don't know. I'm assuming so. Why are you asking me? I'm the sidelines guy. I don't
You have the
a clue.
nicest suit. You probably are in charge.
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
tell him to look at the score? His team was probably shellacking
They
the Elks at that
handily
time.
handled the Elks that way.
I wouldn't worry about the stealing of signals, my man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just like,
Even if they did, they may not know what to do with it.
staring at it. He's like, did the league approve it? I'm like, I don't know. They must have.
Come on.
Yeah, he's like, it's just stealing our signals. I'm like, you're winning.
Was this around the women's soccer debacle? That
No,
he's getting all-
drone gate at the
Yeah,
Olympics.
yeah.
Oh, touche. I just remember because I'm like, this looks cool. And yeah, you're right. At Riverhawks games, they like have the video game view basically.
Yeah, from behind the shortstop.
Yeah,
Like,
it's awesome.
fantastic.
It really is a neat, different perspective. And yeah, they have it at football games. Fergie's Prostate texted in, by the way, says, I bet Jay wouldn't like Jarius Jackson if he was as short as Danny Machocha.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Michael says they need to go back to Save on Foods Family Huddle section tickets. I think they have the brick kids corner. Yeah, and then like they have those two drink rail sections on the north
Yeah,
side.
the Twisted Tea and the whatever other one.
I think
Yeah,
William
yeah.
Huff has their advertising on one of the sections.
But you could turn that whole end zone into a party zone and sell cheap tickets to university students, kind of like the Pill Zone in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
And
Remember they used to have a hot tub?
yeah,
Polar Spot?
Polar
Yeah,
Spots,
they
right?
did.
Get that going again.
But you could turn
always
that
look
whole
at what's
thing into
going
a
on
standing
there.
room only, $10 tickets, like whatever the cost is, because nobody's there now.
Yeah.
So you might as well do that and
Yeah.
fill it all up with drink rail style seating. Kids would love that. University
Yeah.
kids would love that. And then VR Montenegro said that it is for Oilers or for Elks games, free LRT, but not
Yeah.
for Oilers.
Not for Oilers. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But if you promoted that, like there was two people that went on here and said that they didn't know that.
But it's a program that I think that has been implemented over a decade ago.
Well, that's always I always just carry a ticket stub or something on my phone. So whenever I have to use the LRT, I don't have to pay.
Perfect. Yeah.
Like, I thought there was a game on.
yeah.
Oh my God. You think you get away with that?
I'm Irish.
Schmidt's Sport and the Edmonton Sports Talk hat, which was brought to you by the Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of EST, promotional products that bring the buzz. TheHiveProductMarketing.com. That hat looks good. You're keeping it nice and crisp.
Oh, yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
You guys doing more merch?
Yes, that's a great segue because
Yeah.
Onyx curating the next pop-up
He was
shop.
asking me for a logo for something. I'm curious.
Oh, did we get it to him?
I did, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see. He's got all sorts of things up his sleeve.
Yeah,
so,
he does.
Yeah, excited
scheming.
to see. You guys have some nice stuff already. I'm excited to see the next round. I'm sure I'll be a purchaser.
I think he put out for the Nasty Club memberships. I know those are up now, and you can. There's like an auto renew. Matthew is in charge of all that, but there's like a scarf, a
Yeah, you
T-shirt
get
with
some
a
stuff.
secondary logo. There's a couple pairs of socks. You've got options.
Well, and another segue that if you want to get in on that, the Nasty Club memberships are open now.
Yes, that's what it is.
So it's nasty.edmontonsportstalk.com. You can get your annual and your premium memberships. So make sure you register today. That'll give you access to the EST merch package, Goal Songs on Demand, Nasty Bash, and EST Golf Classic Priority, and ST's voting capabilities. So, I mean, just for the Nasty Bash and the golf tournament priorities, because I don't even know that the golf tournament got out to the public per se.
I don't think it
I think the
did.
Nasties filled it up.
Filled
Yeah.
right away, yeah.
We had a lot of fun.
There's a lot to do with it. It's not expensive, and you get with it, Tom. What do you get? A pair of socks and an EST scarf,
Yes,
right?
and I think there's a T-shirt.
I know it's socks and scarf for sure.
Okay.
And Maddie designed all this stuff, obviously with Chelsea over at the Hive, and it looks phenomenal. It looks really good, and I can't wait for the merch too,
Yeah.
because I'm gonna buy everything. I want to have
would.
a lot of EST merch
Yeah.
because all I have right now is a hoodie, a really nice golf shirt that's the brand that Maddie got made for us,
Yes.
Travis Matthew,
Yeah.
and a hat.
Yeah.
They make good Christmas gifts too.
Good. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
planning on the timing. I had a T-shirt. It was a little bit small. ordered the wrong size, and an ex has it, so I don't think I'll ever see it.
Oh no.
That thing's gone.
Yeah.
So I need another one.
Might be
but,
gone from the earth. Might be in a fire pit somewhere on,
She's probably burnt it.
on a voodoo doll somewhere.
Yeah, no wonder my back hurts all the time. Schmitty, okay, we got one text that I want to get to Schmitty on what's cooking over at Strathcona Spirits. Nash and Whitecourt. Nash says, Tommy, on a completely different note, my wife and I were in the city for a little date weekend. We had some downtime to kill Saturday. I went downtown to have a look at Modern Measure on your recommendation. You went there, Jay, too. Planned to just have a look, but ended up getting measured, ordering my first ever tailored suit before we left. Jared's a great guy.
Yes.
They have a cool little setup there. Looking forward to the suit. You're going to love it, Nash. Thank you for going down there. Jared and Richie are fantastic. They're on board with us again on Hello Hockey. They do the Modern Power Play, which is a great little feature. And local, support local.
I don't know that they talk about, like, is it promoted or do people know about it? Like,
Modern?
you go to Modern Measure, you can get a tailored 2-piece suit, custom.
Yeah,
You choose
everything's
your
custom.
buttons, you choose your cuffs, you choose your pockets, you choose your inside.
They'll write something for you.
You can stitch something
Yeah.
on the and for $7.99.
That's an unreal price.
You
and
go to
quality.
Moores and buy something off the rack. It's $5.99, $6. Like you're not much more to get it tailored to your color, fit, everything. I was shocked. It was such a great experience. I would recommend it highly.
Love it. Yeah, well, yeah, your suit was great too. You had
Yeah,
it
it's
at
awesome.
at the Nasty or
Estes.
Estes.
Yeah.
Estes.
yeah.
Okay,
looking
Schmitty. Speaking of local, you brought in the Velvet Cream. You guys are working on the old Strathcona fashion. I love that name. You've got Birdie
Thanks.
Booze, which you brought in for us. I appreciate that very much. What's the latest over at Strathcona Spirits and what you people know?
So one, I'll let the listeners in on a little secret collaboration we're up to right now. We just bottled it on Friday. We have done something I've never seen. Maybe someone else has a 3-part collaboration with Sakegami, which is a Japanese.
What'd you call me?
You watch your mouth.
I'm glad I'm not short. They're a Japanese sake company. Blind Man.
Okay.
Ourselves and Sherbrooke Liquor. So we did kind of a very unique style of gin where we aged it in what would normally age sake. So it's a taru wood. We aged the gin, bottled it. We gave that same cask to Blind Man. They aged a beer in it.
Oh,
Bottled it. And the Sakegami is going to bring in one of the sakes that would normally age in that specific taru barrel, and we're going to do a 3-pack. So you get to figure out what the sake tastes like in the barrel, what our gin tastes like in the barrel.
No way.
And then what the Blind Man beer is going to taste like in the
Neat.
barrel. And that'll be coming out November-ish to, again, hit Christmas season. But yeah, very excited about that. It's just something that I don't think I've really seen anyone do. Blind Man basically went over to Japan, met with these guys, threw this barrel in their overhead luggage, like this big, not overhead luggage, but they brought it back over, gave it to us because we're good friends, and what they needed it hydrated in order to do their beer barrel aging. So we're like, yeah, let's do this gin, and then it all kind of snowballed into what we have now. So that's a really unique, cool one coming out. If you're on our Instagram, we're going to be doing more posts about that right away. And then, Old Strathcona Fashion, we're whipping that up. That's a fun one. I'm a big old fashioned fan, so getting to do the testing for that has been a blast. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Balancing it out. And then probably another whiskey release. So we have Dreamland Whiskey Series, 12 whiskeys we've released so far. We have 4 in rotation right now, and then we'll have another one coming out before Christmas. So that's going to be corn. So
right. You can't say bourbon, right?
I'd say bourbon.
Boybin.
Boy,
Yeah.
You should say Boybin.
Boybin. Yeah.
Joaquin's a big fan of Strathcona Spirits, as he
Yeah, he's
mentioned
keeping
too.
us in business. It's
Yeah.
nice. It's really nice.
Well, yeah, there was a bottle of gin here.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
He says yours. I'm pretty sure he's a avid gin guy, and he says yours is up there, like tops.
Yeah.
On the list.
Fun fact of our gin. So we actually foraged some of the berry for the gin botanical sack or whatever, what you're making the gin out of, just from the sides of the road in Edmonton. You know, these little orange sea buckthorns, they're like have a real kind of sweet tartness to them.
Really?
Yeah, they're awesome little like energy berries basically. And yeah, you We go along the side of the road, like over by Southgate Mall, and we pick all these things and put them into our gin and makes a unique taste. And then we do 2 barrel agings. We do a white oak barrel aging and we do a Pinot barrel aging from Okanagan, some old Pinot barrels.
I love this.
So we do some fun stuff.
Yeah,
over
you
there.
guys do.
Yeah.
It's really unique. Strathcona Spirits, 81st Ave, just south of White Avenue. And what street
101?
is it? 101, that's right. Jay Milne, what's coming up on the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne today?
Well, we have Luke Gazdick on today.
Gaz. Great
And
guy.
we're going to have Trent Brown.
Yep.
He does a monthly check-in with us, so that should be interesting. He usually gets
He's a
pretty,
lot to say.
He wears his heart on his sleeve.
I like that.
And they are promoting some pretty cool stuff. James H. Brown does so many giveaways.
They're doing like a Springsteen thing, aren't they?
They're giving a Springsteen trip away on their Facebook page.
Yeah. Holy.
So we're going to talk about that and how the heck they can do all this stuff. And
Injury
A
law.
lot of injuries out there.
I know a guy that wants to ride a bike into a McLaren parked
Actually,
on the
I'll
bike
ask him
lane.
that. I'll ask him that. If there is a McLaren parked in a bike lane downtown and I just tee off on this thing on my old Norco.
And I'm wearing my helmet.
Yeah, and wearing a helmet. Am I going to,
Sober.
can I?
Yes.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things that are adding up here that
There's
might
so many
make this not
variables.
possible.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Great question.
we'll be up on the Reed Wilkins Show today from 3 to 6.
Fantastic.
Reed's
Yeah.
going to be bringing the juice. He's down at the rink. He's
Yes.
right now, so he's going to be bringing all the lineup changes that I'm assuming are going to happen.
Power play one.
And if they don't, we're just going to
that.
talk about it anyways.
Perfect. Perfect. Schmitty, thank you
Love
for
it.
coming in.
Yeah,
Jay,
thanks for
thanks for
having me,
doing
guys.
the hangout today. Absolutely tremendous. Congratulations, Steven, qualifier for the EST Flyaway to LA trip, brought to you in part by the 780. That's going to do it for the hangout. Great show as we kick
Beautiful.
off the week here on EST. For Schmitty and Jay, I'm Tom saying thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. The Lock Shop coming up next right here on EST. Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First time guest, long time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanek, Tom Zola with here, joining us today.